Today's video is designed to explain the most important dress codes and to separate them from each other so you know exactly how to dress. To help you find the dress code you're looking for straight away, we've equipped this video with timestamps for the individual topics. Feel free to use them. And if you need specific links to product suggestions in the future, please let me know in the comments. The business dress code. The dress code business or business attire calls for your most formal wardrobe in a work environment. In general, this means a full suited look with a tie and dark, plain suit shoes. Preferred suit colors should be dark tones such as dark blue, dark gray, and brown. As for the choice of shirt color, I would keep it very classy, so either white or light blue. Make sure that the tie is as simple as possible, so no bold patterns. The tie should also be darker than the shirt to create a harmonious contrast and round off the look with your dark suit. This dress code is required and appropriate for business trips, meetings with customers or business partners, or business events in general. And to give you a better understanding of the purpose of the business dress code, it is mostly intended for occasions where you represent your company, but you're not in the company building. So what you do is you dress accordingly to make a professional and also reliable impression. And for an important learning, I'd like to take a short break here and once again draw the attention to my initial sentence, namely, the dress code business or business attire calls for your most formal wardrobe in a work environment. What's really important to understand is dress codes are individual and they depend on the context. This means that you have to implement them according to your possibilities, and they can also slightly differ from industry to industry. For example, if you work in a bank and the dress code business is asked for at an event, a suit is almost certainly required. If, on the other hand, you work in the IT sector, where the general dress code is much more relaxed anyway, it doesn't necessarily have to be a suit. You should therefore definitely take a look at what your colleagues are wearing and perhaps even ask them what is meant by the dress code and ask them what they'll be wearing. Knowing so, you can easily adapt or even switch it up a notch. And guys, please don't be shy to ask around, because quite honestly, on the one hand, your question only speaks for your commitment, and on the other hand, you avoid the embarrassing situation of possibly not being dressed appropriately. So if you work in an industry where your business dress code is not quite as formal as just described, then you may simply apply the rules of the smart casual dress code that will follow later on. Business casual. Let's talk about the dress code business casual. This of course is the more leisure version of what we've described above, meaning suit is required but without a tie. Combos like jackets with dressier trousers like chinos would for example be possible. But this outfit would also work with a tie of course, as in this case the chinos are the main way to loosen up the look. Oxford button-down shirts are also appropriate since classic business shirts are not required. This dress code can be summed up as slightly more casual than business meetings, but still more serious and professional than casual wear. Due to the fact that we've experienced an enormous casualization in recent years, the dress codes have shifted noticeably. Sort of a decline has taken place. The dress code business from 20 years ago is basically non-existent anymore. The most formal version of what we see people wearing today is business casual at most, and most places even find this sort of attire to be too chic. But be sure to keep the following in mind. If a specific dress code is asked for at an event or a place, then there is a reason for that, meaning the classic rules of dress codes apply. If the mentioned casualization also applies to your industry or environment, then you'll perfectly cover the dress code business casual by wearing a shirt in the usual business colors of white and light blue paired with dark pants such as those from a suit. And in case you don't have those, you can simply wear chinos as long as they fit you well and they look clean. I would round off this look with dark smart shoes such as suede derbies for example. I wouldn't recommend sneakers here, as we still have the basic idea of our dress code business casual in mind. I'll get back to that in a moment though. But a definite no-go for this dress code, however, is a fully casual look such as overly casual jeans or bright colors. The emphasis is clearly on the word business and not on the word casual. Let's move on to what is now probably the most common and frankly the most vague dress code, namely smart casual, which we will then briefly differentiate from the dress code casual chic. Broken down, smart casual is a balancing act between sportiness and light elegance. The complete suit look is too smart for this dress code, while normal leisure wear is too casual. The scope of action is therefore enormous, which is why you should simply make sure that you dress up without going over the top. But what does that mean exactly? You could, for example, opt for a jacket and chinos, but wear a t-shirt instead of a shirt. The elegance from the jacket loosened up by the chinos, and the t-shirt adds a little sportiness to the look. You could finish off the look with smart shoes such as penny loafers, but a pair of sneakers will definitely work too. Just make sure that the sneakers don't look completely out of context, like Air Jordans Dunk High for example. If on the other hand you don't want to wear a jacket, I would advise you to swap the t-shirt for a shirt again to keep the smart component in the look and not to drift too much into the sporty direction. If you want to, you can also swap the chinos for jeans, but here again I would recommend a jacket to maintain maintain the aforementioned elegance. Just make sure that the jeans aren't too distressed, but rather of a consistent color so they blend in harmoniously with the outfit and don't stand out. However, it doesn't have to be a shirt. A t-shirt works in this constellation just as well. As long as you have one notably elegant item of clothing in your outfit, it's fine. However, you've got quite the range of motion with this and other dress codes, as it always depends on the context and the weather too. For example, if this dress code is required at a summer party in very hot weather, you can either take off your jacket on site or leave it off completely. Either way, there will certainly be people attending without a jacket at all, as most men sweat easily in summer and therefore don't have the option for jackets or layering. To name another alternative, you could also combine a pair of linen suit trousers, a well-fitting white t-shirt and smart shoes. Comments like that should help endure the heat without you looking completely out of place. Just remember that if someone demands the dress code smart casual, they simply expect you to dress well within your abilities. This can also be fulfilled if you wear a smart sweater instead of a jacket. The most important aspect is that you make an effort and look well groomed, then you'll be fine. The difference between smart casual and casual chic is that casual chic is even more elegant. With casual chic, the focus is on elegance and seriousness, and casual elements are used to loosen it up. Smart casual, on the other hand, is exactly the opposite. The focus is on informality and casual style, but this should be enhanced with chic elements. Casual chic is simply a step up from smart casual and encourages you to swap a t-shirt and trainers for a shirt and smart shoes. The term casual means as much as relaxed or informal. In other words, something like not dressed as you would at work. You can dress as you would in your free time, for example, when you go into town or out with friends. However, if you read this dress code at an event, an invitation, a barbecue party, or wherever, it shouldn't be a free pass for the lazy men among us to wear your I don't give a damn outfits. Comfortable and cozy, yes, for sure, but keep it a little stylish and well groomed. Put on your outfit that you think looks notably good on you or perhaps highlights something about you. For example, you can use items such as jeans in any color, simple t-shirts and sweaters, as well as sporty sneakers for this dress code. The more unsure you are, the more minimalist you should go with the individual items of clothing in terms of both color and cut. Then you'll have a super solid and flawless outfit, I promise. We are now on the final stretch and are turning our attention to two less common dress codes. If anyone asks for those, you've definitely got a great time ahead of you. Black tie is our most elegant version of dress codes, and the fancier we get, the less leeway we have. Black tie is a dress code that is very clearly defined and, in my opinion, particularly fun because it's like a ritual dance and an homage to elegance. You have the opportunity to live out the little James Bond in you because black tie is basically the knight's armor of modern times. What is called for in this case is simply the completely classic tuxedo. You can wear it with a peak lapel or shawl collar, and the lapel is usually made of silk, but it doesn't have to be. Wear a tuxedo shirt with it, either with a visible or covered button tape, and fit it with a wingtip collar or a turn down collar. But a plain white shirt would also do if necessary. But there certainly is no alternative to the classic bow tie. In 95% of cases, it is and should be black unless you want to wear a special tuxedo and a bow tie in a different color. 95% of the time, you should wear black patent leather shoes or velvet shoes with a tuxedo, but if you don't have any and you only rarely need to wear this dress code, well-polished black formal shoes are also fine. I'm giving you several alternatives here because I think it's very important to remain realistic and not automatically assume that everyone will go shopping just because there's an event or a dress code. Also, we shouldn't always take ourselves too seriously. You're already doing your best, and if someone really complains and gets upset, then what? Let them call the cops. I'm certain they will take care of it. But if such a dress code is required, I would definitely advise you to try to stick to it if possible. There will always be people that deliberately swim against the tide and want to stand out with their quirky and unorthodox combinations. But let's be honest. Do you really want to be that guy? The dress code cocktail is perfect for elegant and festive, but definitely very special events. It usually refers to luxurious parties, weddings, or festive occasions. By proclaiming this dress code, the organizer or host makes it abundantly clear that an unforgettable and lavish event is about to take place and that guests' outfits should definitely match the occasion, as this will be part of the atmosphere. A suit is therefore desired, but not necessarily the dark colors of business. Black should be avoided here, as this is too formal of a look and therefore contrasts with the intended amusing mood of the evening. You can and may wear dark blue, gray, or charcoal, but you can also take your cue from the season and wear lighter colors in the summer or spring. When it comes to shirt colors, you can of course stick to the classics of white, light blue, and blue-white striped, but you definitely don't have to. The main aspect is that the color matches the suit. As far as shoes are concerned, you should choose smart leather shoes if possible, although you can also go back to penny loafers. Generally speaking, you can't go wrong with brown shoes, as black shoes stand out too much and are inharmonious with colorful looks. As I've already already talked about in my video How to Style Black, which is linked right here. However, you should avoid casual clothing and casual footwear because, as the occasion already mentioned, a certain elegance is required. There are about 5 more dress codes, but they are about as rare as encountering a Kangaskhan in the Safari Zone in the red or blue Pokemon edition. Believe me, I've tested it. Those kinds of niche dress codes are better covered on other channels. For now, I would like to focus on building a solid foundation first. And do you know what by far is the most important aspect to be able to lay this foundation at all? Exactly, a recurring audience. Hit the follow button. Feedback is also very welcome because this helps me improving. And you know what? Likes on this video are almost like blowing kisses. Have a nice day.